welcome to another episode, Rise and Thrive with a Purpose. And I'm your host, Yisbel Bera. And I always love to start by saying that there's two important days in life: the day that you were born and the day that you find out why. So today is a very special episode. Friend of mine, very dear friend of mine. And I know this podcast is going to be very special. So I would like to introduce broker owner, CEO Jessica Colom. Welcome. How you doing?
Hi, Yisbel. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to me to be invited to your podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time and for being here. Super excited to have you and to get to know your journey. I know a lot about your life, but I'm excited actually. I'm excited. I know that there's a lot of great examples and of your journey and everything that you've been through to open up your business and all that. So let's talk about a little bit about you. Tell us what's your background, where you're from, so the audience can get to know you.
Well, I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, and I moved here to Florida when I was around 27 years old. So I've been here like a couple years. And when I moved here, my background, like us Asians said, like my previous life, I was in accounting. I moved here with my husband and my daughter, who was 4 at that time. And we moved to Fort Myers to this area after being a year in Fort Lauderdale. Everybody's know Fort Lauderdale. The market over there is more expensive. So
Yeah,
when we moved here, we moved thinking that we're not gonna rent for more than a year. So when we start looking for
that's smart.
property, yeah, we see that this area it was beautiful. To be honest, I didn't like it. My husband loved it, but God have a purpose to bring me here, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it later. And well, we moved here before the reception, 2010 reception. We bought a house, and I went through that receptions here, and I didn't know nothing about a reception. I mean, I was like 20, probably 30 years old, never been in a reception before. Probably I did, but I didn't. I wasn't um, an adult,
Yeah,
probably, so I
yeah.
didn't know what was that. So I blamed it on the realtor. Honestly, I lost my house in a short sale, and I blamed it on the realtor.
Wow.
And when it was time to buy again,
So you bought on during recession, and then you went short sale.
yes, I did a short sale by that time. And when it was my time to buy it again, I need to wait 3 years for that. I said, I'm gonna buy the house myself. I'm gonna become a realtor and buy the house myself because I blame her on the
Yeah, you
she,
blame the other agent.
yeah, they have
The hell.
nothing to do, right? She did everything perfect, but I didn't know. I didn't know,
Yeah,
and you don't know what you don't know.
exactly. Yeah.
But that was how I became a real estate agent.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
Yes, yeah. So you make the decision, you got your license, you jump in, and then you buy yourself. And a lot of people got scared when they go through situations. So you overcome, you bought a home, went through recession, went to short sale, which is something that you go through before foreclosure for those probably who doesn't know the term of short sale. But and then you overcome that, you wait 3 years and got your license and get yourself going and bought a home.
Yeah, yeah. But it was funny because when I got my license, the only purpose that I got it was just to buy the home. I said, no, I'm going to do it myself this time. But I was surprised because my home was the third that I saw. Um, so I got 2 transactions before buying my own house.
That's
And
awesome.
I kind of like it. I said, hey, I like real estate. It got a purpose to pass through the short seller, the resection, because when I saw a house right now, I thinking about me and that time, and I don't want people to overcome that again. So every time I saw the house, I'm thinking, well, they need to afford it. If this is the roof, and by that time, I knew how important it is to have a roof because
Yes.
maybe when you're a leader, You live in your parents' roof, you don't understand how important it is until you have your own children's, right? Until you need to have a roof for your own children, for your
Yeah.
family.
I think it's one of the greatest thing because everyone needs a roof, like you say. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see up and downs, and the market is a cycle and all that. But at the end of the day, we all need a roof, and at the end of the day, we're either gonna rent or buy, and we know that renting is burning money.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So that's I mean, and when you went through, what was your biggest takeaway when you start your business? Because as we see, you were young, you kind of start doing a few transactions, and you bought your own. What was one thing that you can share with the audience that tells you this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Well, in real estate, because I passed through that, I don't want people to pass through that too. So my biggest takeaway of that was to make sure that every client have the right home for them. Sometimes when you buy a house, is about emotions a lot of times,
Yeah,
and a lot of
it's an
times,
emotional process.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is, and a lot of times people get approved, for example, for 300s, and they want the one is 350 because
yeah,
it's look better because it's have a lot of more
yeah.
things, right? But if you can afford it, you can afford it,
That's
you
right.
know.
Yeah.
And us as an Asian, it is very important that we put ourselves in their position, because it's
Yes.
emotion. And I know that a real salesperson is gonna give you the 300, 350,
Yeah,
probably.
the salesperson, the one who
Yeah,
doesn't really care
the
about. Yeah,
one who
I
doesn't care.
understand.
Yeah.
So you found yourself that you love serving people.
I
And
do, I do, because honestly, I'm not a salesperson. It is, it is a price, but I am not a salesperson, and I am not in real estate because I love to sell. I am in real estate because I love to help people.
yeah, no, I love it. So, I mean, many of you might be trying, like, doubting, like, okay, which business should I start? What should I do? And like you say, like, that's one thing that you found yourself, you found passion, and you found yourself fulfilled. And whatever is a field that you feel passion and like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like that click, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of probably youth and people that is trying to start new businesses right now, and they're unsure. Like, okay, what should I be doing? But everyone's
Yeah, you
business.
need to love what you're doing. You need to love what you're doing. The other day, my son, I have a 17 years old son. He started his first job last week.
Oh wow.
And I tell him the first day, I tell him, go have fun. And he looked at me like, have fun? Mom, have fun? This is my first job. I'm supposed to have fun? And I tell him, yeah, you're supposed to have fun. It's not
Yeah.
that you're going to be laughing around or things like that. This is very serious, but you have to love it. You have to have fun. That's how you got the fun, loving what you're doing. If you
Yeah.
don't like it, it's not going to be fun at all. I
No,
mean,
I love it. You must have fun of what you're doing. I love it. Yeah. No, it's true because otherwise, you're not gonna grow. You're
hmm
not gonna be successful because you don't know what you do. So
yeah, it
that's
is. You have to love it. I mean, fun and love go by the same hand. You have to. If you love it, you're gonna have fun.
yeah, that's right. And at the end, you're gonna grow and you're gonna succeed because you're doing something that you love. And tell me, Jessica, also, what is your biggest challenge? It could be personal, or it could be in the business. You can pick. What is one challenge? I mean, I know we all face so many challenges, but what is that one challenge that you would like to share with us? And what was your biggest takeaway? Like, how do you overcome that challenge?
I think my biggest challenge was, as I mentioned before, it was the receptions that I passed through, losing the house. That was my first house. So for me, it was like a big challenge losing it. I tried very hard not to. But the big takeaway was without knowing, becoming an agent to help another people. Also, right now I'm passing through a big challenge on my life, but I don't see that like a big challenge. And this year, January this year, my doctor told me that I had cancer, type 2, stage 2 cancer. Um, and it can be a big challenge for a lot of people, but when you trust in God, you know everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be good.
And let me tell you, like, how much I admire you because a lot of people, like, I can see your face, I can see like, the fact you are here and the fact that you say yes to the interview, it says a lot about you. Like, there's a lot of people that I'm pretty sure been through that or are going through that and they just stay home.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes because it's gonna doubts are gonna come to your mind. I mean, they're gonna come, and you I mean, at the beginning, I think I have like a couple seconds of, oh my gosh, do I gonna die? Oh my gosh, do I gonna stay in a bed? Oh my gosh, my career, what's gonna happen with my business, with the brokerage? I mean, a lot of things happen in a couple seconds, but I mean, it was just a couple seconds, and that's the important thing. We are humans, and all the thoughts are gonna come to our mind, but we need to understand that there's a God. There is a God, that nothing is impossible. So
I love
from the
it.
first time, I have no doubt. I think that when I received that call from my doctor, it was my doctor personal phone call from his personal cell phone, and I said, this is not good. He's not calling from the office. He's coming from his cell phone. So this is not good news. But that since at that moment I knew understand that everything's gonna be fine, and that's exact moment my faith increased. I mean, my faith went to another level, and I trust God. I mean, I keep to overcome this so people can see that you can do it. I mean, and everything is possible if you trust God. Everything is possible. Um, and where um, where I try to work harder is at church, because I serve in my church and I want people to see that God is real. That I mean, He give you the strength. And I mean, at
I,
church I have a lot of I have a few of positions, and I keep doing all my positions, um, because I want them to know that all their strength come from God.
let me tell you, you are a big example because I'm pretty sure you're doing all your roles at church and only at church because we together were part of also a NAREP chapter in Naples, and I see that you always show up. No matter how you feel, you always show up. So my respect and my admiration to you because that shows a lot of resilience and a lot of strength. And we know that our strength is the joy
Yeah,
of the
and
Lord.
and it's come from heaven. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Is there anything in a specific since you brought that up? Like, do you want to share with those people that are struggling with the same
situation.
situation?
Yes. I want to share that, I mean, with God, nothing is impossible. If you're going through a difficult situation, it doesn't have to be cancer. It can be financial. I mean, it can be anything. I mean, a divorce, some anything is impossible. I mean, everything is possible with God, and if you have faith, God is with you. I mean,
Yeah.
you can pass through anything.
Yeah, like I love the verse that says that you can go through fire and you just, it's not
Mhm.
gonna even touch you. You're
Mhm.
gonna be just fine. And I love when you say that you can go through the most impossible thing, but through Him turns
Mhm.
possible and everything is gonna be all right.
And I want to mention something else, Giselle, is sometimes when you pass through struggles, is when you're supposed to be closer to God. And a lot of people what do is the opposite. And
Yeah.
then it's gonna be difficult if you do the opposite. I mean,
You
if
stay
you,
away from God, and
hmm
yeah, it's
if
gonna
if
be
you stay
worst.
closer to God, um, and I mean, you're fine. I'm so confident that I'm gonna be fine. Like right now, I went to 4 chemo. I only have 2 more, And a lot of people, I mean, I'm supposed to be in bed, feeling bad, throwing up. I mean, all those side
And
effects
you
that you
look
have.
great.
And I mean, God, God is only through God that I'm here right now.
Yeah, well, that's amazing, and I'm so honored really to have you here and sharing your testimony and sharing your resilience, your strength, and yes, I'm pretty sure your kids, your husband, and all your family are looking up to you and so proud of you because yeah, no, you
Well,
know,
because God, honestly. And the is very important. Family, friends, a lot of people that call me constantly, are visiting me constantly, and that's very important. And I don't see like they are my friend or my family. I see that God angels. He's sending angels to let me know everything's gonna be fine. Everything's
yeah.
gonna be fine, and I'm so grateful for everybody who contact me, who call me, who send me food, who send me a text message and tell me everything's gonna be fine because I know that it's through God.
I One type of action can impact anybody's life. A text, a phone call. So if you need
Mm-hmm.
to call that person, go ahead and do it.
Yes.
Um, a simple, kind,
Yeah,
just
a simple
any,
text
just
message. I mean, a simple text message is so important and only taking 1 second. And for me, in this situation, it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing, honestly.
yeah, no, that's so awesome. So we see a lot of resilience in her story, a lot of decision making, a lot of strength. So you need to know where you're going. You need to go where your strength is coming from. I mean, we believe in God, respecting your belief, but we believe that our strength is something above our natural strength, like
Yes.
is something out of this world for sure. And one simple gesture or kindness can impact and change anybody's life. And you are one step away from your next level of your business, and yeah, whatever you're going through, sickness, like Jessica mentioned, financial situation, you're only one decision away to go to the next level and overcome that. And knowing that, what is the biggest influence that you had through your entire life? Is there any person or your life?
Um, hmm, Jesus.
I love it. That's amazing.
Honestly, Jesus.
Jesus,
Jesus.
that's
And let
awesome.
me tell you something. In real estate, I admire you too. You a
Thank you.
lot because I know you since you started real estate. And for me, honestly, it's been an honest to see how you grow. So I look at what you're doing, and I mean, admire me,
Oh,
honestly.
thank you.
I see you grow since the beginning, Yisbel, since you start with me, and all what you have done, and it's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I can say the same thing. Like, I wouldn't do it on my own strength. Only through Jesus. That's all
I
that I
know that,
can
and I know that, and
say.
I admire you for
Yeah,
that.
thank you. Thank you so much. I like to give the glory to God for everything. Yes,
Amen.
yeah. Well, I don't know if there's any final words that you would like before we close. Any whatever you wanna share, advice, any final words to the audience.
Well, in the business matter, I would say you need to be resilient, as you mentioned. Um, don't no te conformes.
Don't just don't be comfortable. Get out of your comfort
Get
zone.
out of your comfort zone, right? Study, get ready, get prepared for everything. When it's pop up on my mind right now, like yesterday, we were expecting a lot of people in our church because we are growing, and we put an overflow room with everything chairs. We prepare all the ushers and everything, and we didn't have to use it. I mean, we just used it for our staff that was not we were not able to be inside the church because it was full, but we were prepared.
Yeah.
And that's the same way we have to do in our business. You need to get prepared. Even it's not happening, you need to be prepared, because if you're not prepared, God is not going to bring you the clients. God
I
is not
love
going
it.
to bring you that success. So you need to think about out of the box and be prepared.
That's wonderful. What a great way to close this episode. Today has been a very, very special episode sharing with my dear friend Jessica Colon. And like she mentioned, that's the way we close. Anticipation equals success. If you don't anticipate, as she stated, then you probably fail to succeed. So thank you so much, everyone, for connecting and for watching.